everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Welcome to 2026. How's it going, guys? How was your New Year's? How was
It was good. New Year's was good.
It's always good watching Alabama get blown out.
Yeah,
there were some good games.
Yes,
there were some good games.
That surprised you?
Alabama losing? No.
The score, yeah. Score definitely did.
Exactly. Yeah, Alabama was going to lose that game, but man, I did not see them just getting smoked.
If even going into that game, there were still people that doubted how good Indiana was because of the schedule they played. If anybody's doubting Indiana after what they did to Alabama, then I don't know what brand of football you're watching. Indiana is a damn good team.
They look like they are going to be your national champion.
Like that defense that they have assembled at Indiana is fast and they are physical.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Alabama it shouldn't have been in the playoffs anyway.
I mean, it was gonna be them or Notre Dame. Did you expect a different result if that would have been Notre Dame playing?
No, well, I mean, I didn't expect that result with them playing, but again, I thought Indiana would win. I just didn't think it was going to be the absolute blowout that it was. That being said, Notre Dame, I don't think would have fared better. They probably would have scored.
Yeah.
But
what's up, Joe?
The second year in a row, though, we're going to have a Big Ten team, at least in the national championship game. Because last year, Ohio State obviously won the whole thing, and now you have Oregon playing Indiana. So for the second straight year since they've gone to this format, the Big Ten will have at least one team in the championship game.
Yeah, and then, of course, Ohio State going down. That one was a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah. But when you look at it, you can kind of look at Miami as this year's version of Notre Dame, where Notre Dame went into the college football playoffs as the 10 seed last year and went on the road to upset Notre Dame that first game, and then they go and win the next game and got to the national championship game. So maybe Miami's this year's version of last year's Notre Dame, where they get in as the 10 seed and not a lot of people thought they should be there, and they show up.
Yeah, I mean, they surprised me a little bit. Miami looked good.
So they really did. They really did. You knew right away. Yeah. Like right away, you felt like that Ohio State was in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Oregon game, I had Oregon winning that game. I didn't have it in a shutout, though.
That was gross. That game was gross, I think.
It was
gross. How? I mean, I didn't.
It was just very sloppy football. I mean, it was a defensive struggle, or I should say an offensive struggle for the most part. But like, that's not the brand of football you typically see from Oregon. They're usually more of the high-scoring, high-flying team that just tries to boat race people versus Texas A&M tries to be out physical. And it was just a very, I think, gross game. A lot of sloppy play, a lot of turnovers, and just kind of Oregon, I think, just having the experience being here last year, I think is what won that game for them.
I mean, Oregon's defense is underrated.
It is underrated, yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about their offense, but they have a good defense there.
Meh. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was going to be a defensive battle, and then when I saw the final score, I mean, I watched the first half of that game thinking that, wow, this is going to stay close. It was 6-0 going into half.
Yeah.
Yep. And then to see it like as lopsided as it was strange. I just thought that was odd. I thought that I'm surprised that Texas Tech gave it up as bad as they did.
Well, it was 13-0 with I think 2 minutes left in the third quarter, so it was still a close game. And then Texas Tech got picked off in the end zone, which is I think what ultimately broke their back, because then Oregon turned that into a field goal, and then got the ball back one more time and scored with like a minute left. So if Texas Tech scores on that one possession, now it's a 13-7 game. It's a little bit different. And then once he threw that interception, you could just see Texas Tech was like, well, that was our shot.
Yeah, that was the same thing. That was the same thing that happened in the first with in the first half, in the first quarter, I guess, after they just scored a touchdown in the Ohio State game.
Mhm.
And then he did that screen pass that got picked. That was a pick six. It was, you knew right away that they looked defeated after that.
Yep.
I know they came back and scored 14 points in the second half, but it was not going to be enough.
Yeah, wrapping the college ones up with the Georgia game was there was a lot of weird stuff that happened in that game, and one of them was this targeting call. And I guess by rule it's targeting. Like, it should have been a personal foul. I don't think he needed to be ejected from the game,
No.
and it certainly changed some of the ways the scrambling plays went later in the game, because he's one of their top guys. And so this was the play. Now, he leads with the shoulder, but it's straight into the face mask. He's technically listed as a defenseless player because he's in the grasp, right? He's getting tackled. So he's a defenseless player in this moment. So should it have been a targeting call? Sure, right? Should have been a 15-yarder, no problem. But they went as far as saying it was, with intent. And so that's where it's unfortunate, because he gets bounced from the game immediately here. Georgia goes on to also end up losing another player to injury. So it's all of a sudden some of those Ole Miss scrambling plays that worked realistically could have been picked off if they would have had some of their guys still in there. Now, it's a great win for Ole Miss. I'm not saying that, right? But but yeah. So I just thought that one probably wasn't worthy of an ejection.
Did they call it intent? Did they call it intent because he extended his arms after he hit him?
Correct.
That's the only reason why I can think they threw him out, is because you just hit him. That's going to be 15, but because he took his forearm then and did the extra shove at the end.
It's right here.
That's
see
probably
him,
where. That's probably
shove
where.
Right there.
Yep.
That's what got him ejected.
Yeah, if he doesn't do that, that's 15.
Yeah. So this right here, this is 15 yards all day. Soon as he did that was your ejection.
Yeah, you can't do that to the head and neck area. That's where the ejection comes from.
No, exactly. It just, in real time, it didn't look like enough. Like, obviously, I'm sitting here in like super slow-mo to try and highlight what happened. But it's not like it was a full extension or anything like that. I thought it was kind of a weak ejection. But Georgia wasn't playing particularly good anyway, so they probably still lose this game. But
I mean, I will give credit.
There's a couple of moments later. There's a couple of moments later in that game where, Ole Miss's quarterback was running a scrambling drill, basically, that had they had some of their star DBs still in the game, might not have been completed passes.
Not bad for a D2 quarterback.
Yeah, he was out there killing it. Absolutely.
I will give credit to the stage building crew, though.
You watched him make.
I will give credit for the stage building crew, though, because they had to build that stage up and take it down twice in the final minute for calls that they thought where the game was over, and the refs like, nope, get back on the field, we're not done yet.
That was a very weird end to the game.
Yeah.
And by the rule book, they were right in both cases. So it's not like it was some weird scenario. It was it was the correct calls to not have the game ended, but it was still a very weird end to the game.
What happened? Because I didn't see it.
So there was like a state. So Mississippi was up 37-34. Georgia basically got called for a safety, but Ole Miss thought the game was over. So everyone's running on the field. The referee's like, no, there's a second left. The ball hit the pylon. It's a safety. Like, we have to re-kick. So then they have the celebratory stage got brought onto the field. They had to take the stage off. They had to take it down. Everybody came back on the field for the safety kick, basically. And then Georgia did an onside kick on the safety kick and recovered it at their 32-yard line. Mississippi goes on the field thinking the game is over again. The ref's like, nope, no time came off the clock.
So the caveat to that is that Ole Miss didn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
And so it's not a live ball
Yeah,
until
I think
the
everyone knew that
receiving
besides
team. It's not a live ball until the receiving team touches the ball.
Yeah.
And since it was recovered by the kicking team, that left that second on the clock. So then they had to get everybody off the field again so that they could run one play. And it was your standard lateral plays all over the field. But you could tell Georgia was just absolutely gassed. There was like zero effort in that play. And then you saw a flag come out. You never heard what the flag was, but had it been successful, it looked like it was probably a forward lateral at one of the.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
It was a forward lateral.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, it still ends up an Ole Miss win. But they were really trying to let Georgia steal this game,
right?
Because all they had to do was touch the ball on that onside kick, and then it would have been done.
That was probably bad coaching.
Yeah.
Well, there was a couple of moments in that game that coaching probably played a factor because there were some player self-awareness issues to close out the first half. There was a guy, and the kickers were killing it all day. The kickers could hit from range, and they threw this pass out to the flat to make it a little bit easier kick. And instead of just stepping out of bounds, he cut it back inside, and it let the time run out.
Yep.
So there was definitely some miscues when it came to some game management and just player awareness during this game.
I mean, I will say this with Mississippi, though. This is kind of like a big FU to Lane Kiffin, basically saying we don't need you to win these games. But now you look at the assistants that Lane Kiffin's taking with him to LSU. How many of these assistants now are regretting going with him? And are like, maybe we should stay here with this coach because everyone likes to play for him. This coach seems to know what he's doing a little bit.
No. I think he got lucky. Sounds like he got lucky. You know?
I mean, he was thrust into this situation and he's won 2 playoff games. So, I mean,
yeah. And this is the guy that everyone at Ole Miss wanted. This is the guy that everyone at Ole Miss wanted when Lane Kiffin left, because Lane Kiffin was actually trying to take this guy with him to LSU. And Mississippi's AD's like, no, you can't have him. Like, we're going to name him the head coach now and not even the interim take.
So initially he was going.
Yeah, so and then they said, we'll make you the head coach.
And then they wanted but they were going to let him stay so that they had a coach there. And then they were talking to him about him being the interim, maybe the guy moving forward, and also talking about the other guys they were thinking about bringing in. And he's like, well, I don't want to work for any of them, so I guess I'll take this job.
Yeah. And now you got Charlie Weiss Jr., the OC, who's supposed to be going with Lane Kiffin LSU, which technically he's already there. He's doing double duties where he's doing his weekly prep work with Ole Miss, but he's still doing stuff at LSU at the same time. You got to wonder if they win one more game and get to that national championship game, how many of these assistants are going to be like, why did we commit to Lane Kiffin so quick? And then you have to look at some of these guys like Lane Kiffin was going to try to get Trinidad Chambliss. Does Trinidad Chambliss even leave? Or does he come back to Ole Miss knowing what they've already started this year?
I mean, it's not like he's going
money.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's going to LSU. Like, he's going to be able to get guys to go.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to an obscure school. He's going to a top school. So, yeah, people are like, am I going to stay at Ole Miss or am I going to go to LSU or Georgia or Alabama? I mean, come on. What are we talking about? Of course, some of these guys are going to go. You're talking about storied franchises here.
And now
that would be like in the NFL. That would be like in the NFL being like, hey, we're just having a random good year with the Vikings. But we know we're going to suck again. But I could go play with a team that's in the mix all the time. What are you going to do?
Right.
What gets me is that do you think that Penn State and Michigan were premature in hiring their coaches and not waiting for these playoffs?
No, I think Penn State got a slam dunk hiring Matt Campbell, especially when you look at how much NIL money that Penn State's going to be giving this guy. They're going to be giving him $25 million a year in NIL money. Like, this guy's going to be able to assemble a championship caliber roster from day one at Penn State, whether through the portal, whether through recruiting and everything like that. and then Kyle Willingham going to Michigan. He has done a lot with so much less talent than Utah. And Utah has been a consistent top 15 team the last 6 or 7 years under Kyle Willingham, and they just missed the playoffs like last year. Like, he's now going to a team in Michigan that's going to be able to give him plenty of NIL money too, where now he's going to be able to probably assemble the most talented roster he's ever had.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like that they may have made some rash decisions ahead of time.
Michigan it would be, of those two, I think Michigan might be the one that could have waited a little bit longer, but Penn State getting Matt Campbell, I don't think was premature at all, because Matt Campbell almost took the Badger job a couple of years ago. He's almost taken other jobs the last couple of years. He just wanted to wait for the right situation, and now this kind of is that right situation due to how much money they're giving him in the NIL.
Well, again, we'll see. I feel like with Penn State, they've been trying to find Joe Paterno ever since.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
to be fair, everybody's trying to find that.
yeah.
The guy that's just going to be there forever, that just wins
And
all
win.
the time.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Alabama right now. Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. He's not a great coach. He's a good coach. The guy has 7 losses the last 2 years at Alabama. Nick Saban had like 14 losses in 17 years
Yeah.
at Alabama. Like, this guy's going to have more losses than Nick Saban in 2 more years.
Yeah, but the landscape is wildly different.
No,
Like,
I know.
Nick
I'm just
Saban
saying.
had more losses than Nick Saban in the next
Yeah.
couple of years.
But that's like just saying, like, Nick Saban, like, Alabama's tried to find another Nick Saban. Well, that's not going to happen because it's a different landscape now, and there's only one Nick Saban out there. Like, you can try all you want to find another Joe Paterno, but there's only one Joe
Nick
Paterno.
Saban left because he knew he wasn't going to be Nick
Yeah.
Saban anymore. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
He still has to
nobody's
replace him, though. He still has
there's
to
way
replace
too
him.
much parity. There's way too much parity in college football moving forward because of the way they've started to do things.
Yeah. It's all money now. Not recruiting.
Money,
not
money, money.
skill, it's all money now.
Yeah. That's why I watch very little college sports.
I mean, it's professional sports now. Like, I don't know why we're lying about it. Like, it just is what it is. You pay to play.
Yeah.
So the teams that start paying more players, hey, guess what? They're doing better. Shocker.
No, exactly. I mean, I watch my alma mater. I'm a Huskies. So outside of the Huskies, yeah, everything else is just like, yeah. You bought
Yeah,
it. I miss the old way of recruiting. So,
And I think you've said this before too, Bo. Like, none of us have ever said like that college athletes shouldn't get paid, because I think we were all on board that college athletes should get paid something. But
Yeah.
to get paid what they're getting paid now is just getting out of hand.
I don't even care about that. Just there needs to be some structure to the system.
Yeah.
Like, instead of it being the weird free for all that it is, that makes it just a bizarre landscape. If you just had some structure to it, but that's the NCAA. NCAA is the most reactionary organization. They're like, we're not going to change. We're not going to change. And then they're like, oh, okay, we're going to change everything. And they're like, oh, how's that going to work? I don't know. And it's like,
we're just going to do it and
what it's doing.
see what
And
happens.
they do that stuff all the time. So, I mean, that's just the way the NCAA operates. And then you have the college football playoff that operates independently of the NCAA. So even when there's sanctions within the NCAA, college football playoffs is like, I don't know, it sounds like an NCAA problem. So it's very weird.
But I mean, what I find funny though is the last 2 years, the teams that have that first round bye are 1-7, with Indiana being the only exception to winning that first round bye.
Yeah, I mean, there's some rust that comes with it. You watch players with a first round bye in the NFL lose too. I mean, it's not like it's a surprise.
That's why I'm wondering how long it's going to take for them to go to 16 and just eliminate that first round bye. Because
I think they're going to do it very similar to football, where they're going to do the 1 and 2 seed, the number 1 and number 2 seed are going to get the bye.
Oh, when they expand it, yeah.
Because I mean, they ultimately want the best teams in the championship game, which hard to
Yeah.
determine that in college football just because you look at the conferences and the schedules that some of these teams play. Like, you don't really have a good sense of who the two best teams are until we get to this point. But when it comes to, like, ratings and money and things like that, you know damn well the NCAA wants, like, a Georgia or Alabama in the championship game for money. You know they want, like, an SEC program in some of these. But if you're losing all your SEC programs because they're getting that first-round bye, at some point they're going to be like, yep, let's just go 16 teams, get rid of the first round bye, put everyone the same week every single week all the way through.
Yeah, they're
You
not
may
going to.
still have the same problem anyways, because you have the SEC going up against. So, I mean, realistically, you have the Big Ten, who never plays the SEC or the ACC, and that's the problem. You never really know exactly how everything falls into place. You're just guessing a little bit that this conference is better than this conference.
Right.
That'll be the issue moving forward.
Yep.
As I am in beautiful Brigantine, by the way.
Where is Brigantine?
Where is Brigantine?
Yeah.
Brigantine is a suburb of Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize that.
If you want to call it such a thing. It's its own shore town, really. But
Okay.
Nice. So you there for the weekend, or when do you head home?
I probably am going to go home today.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get away for New Year's.
Nice.
And then, now New Year's is over.
Yeah.
Time to go back to the grind.
Yep. Back to that
So,
action.
Bo, I had another question to ask you.
Sure.
So as things sit right now, the presumed number one pick in the draft is going to be Fernando Mendoza. Won the Heisman. He goes and shows up in his first college football playoff game and dominates Alabama.
Yep.
After what Arch Manning did against Michigan, do you think he really should actually reconsider going back to school as opposed to coming out this year? Because now people are making the case that the game that he had against Michigan, if he were to enter the draft, he would be number one over Mendoza.
He would not be number one over Mendoza.
I don't think he would, but people said because of the last name, he would be.
The last name makes him in the first round. I don't know that we saw first round material out of him consistently anyway.
I don't think we did either.
If his last name wasn't Manning, he's probably a third round pick.
Yeah.
So I think it would actually be good for him to go back.
I do.
But I mean, you have three quarterbacks you know for sure would go above it. So I don't know. It seems like it would be in his best interest to go back and get some good wins, you know, because I mean he was wildly inconsistent this year.
He was.
He had some bad games.
I think that he should go. And I think that he should become a Jet.
Oh, so you just want the worst for this kid. I got you.
I think if he were to enter the draft, I really think the Raiders would take him number one because of Tom Brady and having Tom Brady there to work with him. That's the point that people were making.
You'd go take the Heisman winner.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that, but a lot of the NCAA radio that I was listening to yesterday for pregame for the Rose Bowl and everything said if Arch Manning declares, he's probably going one to the Raiders with Mendoza going two. And I don't know if it's just because of Tom Brady being in with the Vegas Raiders and wanting Brady to work with Arch Manning or what it was, but for whatever reason, a lot of people right now are very high that if Arch Manning were to go out right now, he would be the number one pick.
There's no chance he's the number one pick.
I don't think he is, but I think it's just because of his last name and his potential. Because you see it in the NBA. You see in the NBA too.
What is the justification there for that they were giving you on their radio show? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Basically, his potential. And they basically use the NBA draft as a prime example of that, where in the NBA draft, a lot of times the best player is not taken number one overall. You draft based on your potential to be the best player. So if Arch Manning goes out this year, he may not be the best quarterback prospect in the draft, like the moment of the draft happens. But when it comes to his upside and his potential, a lot of the NCAA experts think he has the highest ceiling and the highest potential, where if he's available and you need a quarterback, you can't pass on him because it might be a decision you regret 5 years down the road.
Yeah, I could see the Jets doing something like that. I don't see the Raiders doing that.
No. Raiders aren't looking for 5 years down the road.
Yeah, the Raiders need to do something. Like, they're going to get somebody that can play. Now, they're going to grab, like, if they grab your Heisman winner, he doesn't have to play right away, right? You still have Geno for a couple of years. What are you doing over there, Pags?
I'm just trying to find a comfortable spot. I got to hold the phone, so it's like it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, I got you. I was like, you getting attacked? Like, what is happening?
Get attacked by the fan.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't see, I don't know why you would pick Manning based on what we've seen from him so far outside of his name, right? Like, if you're using his name as his potential upside, I guess, cool, whatever. But you have 3 other quarterbacks that were in the conversation for the Heisman race that all wildly outperformed what Manning did. And Manning had a good team. So it's not like he was playing with some scrubs and the other guys were on stacked rosters. He had a great team he was on. We watched Quinn Ewers put up better numbers. And everybody likes to think that Manning is better than Ewers. So, I mean, if you're underperforming with a roster that was already doing well, and then you have these other schools that are wildly outperforming you, I mean, it just doesn't make it doesn't make a lot of sense. That sounds more like there wasn't a lot of storylines going on, and they needed something to talk about in the morning.
Well, he'll be combine ready.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. He'll be combine ready. What are your thoughts on Jackson Dart getting traded and them getting Manning?
Now, see, that sounds like what a New York team would do. And that's why I say, like, I could see the Jets getting Manning, or like the Giants getting Manning. Like, I could see them doing some dumb stuff like that. No question. I think the Raiders have more incentive to try and turn this thing around quicker, especially if they're moving forward with Carroll, right? They don't need a guy that's going to need 5 years of development. Like, they need a guy that can get in there and outperform Geno.
Well, yeah. Well,
Are
even
they keeping Carroll?
Oh yeah, they'll keep him a year.
I think they keep him one more year. I don't know if he plays out the full 3 years, but I think they bring him back just for next year, just depending on how they do. Having that number 1 pick, this is really going to kind of bring Pete Carroll's college days out of him, where it's not necessarily going to be the recruiting aspect of it. It's going to be like, I need to build this roster for the future, so I need my franchise guy number 1. Like, I don't think they want to bring in a new coach, put that pressure on the new coach to draft the number 1 overall pick and then have it miss, versus if it's Pete Carroll, if he misses, he's only got 1 year left of his contract after this anyways, versus if he hits, well, now you just set the franchise up for whoever's coming in to replace him.
Well, and he may even sign an extension if that's how that goes.
That's kind of why I think they keep him around, just knowing that they have that number 1 pick. You'd rather have Pete Carroll make that pick as opposed to some new guy coming in.
Yeah, it does sound like he has a pretty good shot at keeping his job. But, I don't see them getting a project guy. I think they're going to get somebody that is closer to being able to play.
Yeah. Right. Well, even Pete wants to coach because he's in win now mode anyway. So Pete doesn't want to. He doesn't have 5 years.
Exactly. He's 74. Right? Like, he's got to get this thing going now.
Yeah. Right. So he's definitely looking for short term, not long term gains.
Yeah, but I think the Raiders are so bad, and they have an exodus of people that want to leave. Like, Max Crosby is slated to be an Eagle next year.
Yeah, Max Crosby's gone.
So does that mean that they're going to get? We're going to get so many different draft picks because we're going to get rid of all the people that we want to get rid of?
He'll get picks for Crosby.
Oh yeah,
I know he will.
Picks for Crosby.
I expect him to get a second and a fourth for Crosby.
That would give the Raiders 3 seconds, I think, too. So that would actually set them up too.
You
Yeah,
know,
I mean
so-
they are primed to have a decent offseason. So
They have money too, don't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's their cap space too?
I think they're like in the top 5 for available cap space too. Like they have a lot
Yeah.
of money they'll be able to spend next offseason too.
yeah, I mean they're going to be able to do some stuff to try and turn this thing around kind of quickly,
Yeah.
which is why I don't think they're going after project guys. But
Yeah.
you know, a New York team, absolutely, I could see them shooting themselves in the foot, no problem.
Mhm.
I mean, they've done it. They've done it every year since about 2015. So
Exactly. So
What do you think that Chicago's coordinators get plucked?
one of them, maybe not both. Actually, no, I don't think any one of them do.
yeah, I was going to say I don't think in the first year here, no.
There was talk about Dan Campbell trying to get some of his old assistants to go back to Detroit. So Antoine Randall L., who was the wide receivers coach in Detroit, is the wide receivers coach in Chicago, but he's the assistant offensive coordinator as well. Dan Campbell wants to bring him back to be the OC. And then Dan Campbell's offensive line coach is, I believe, the tight ends coach or something in Chicago now. He wants to bring that guy back to Detroit to be the O-line coach again in Detroit.
I mean, they need that because that
Yeah,
offensive
like
line.
he wants to get some of his old assistants to go back. But like Dennis Allen, unless Dennis Allen is brought in for a rebuilding team, I don't think Dennis Allen leaves. And then Declan Doyle is only 27 or 28 years old. This is his first year as a play caller. I don't see anybody giving a 28-year-old first-time play caller who doesn't actually call the plays a head coaching job right out the chute.
Yeah.
They need to see more from Doyle. Like he needs more of a responsibility and more play calling experience before they even look at him, I think, as a head coach.
I've got an interesting one for you then. But what do you think about Kubiak?
I'm
Would he
surprised
be
he
up?
hasn't been hired already.
Yeah.
Do we think
That's
we
kinda
lose
what I was
him? Do we lose him next year?
Depends on how many coaches get fired, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing is we got to kind of watch what happens here in about a week and a half.
Like guys who we thought were going to be fired are now safe. Like Mike McDaniel. Everyone thought that guy was going to be fired 2 months ago. Well, not only
Yeah.
is he safe for next year, but Dolphins have a chance to finish like right around 500 this year. So now he's going to be back at least to start the year.
Well,
So that takes one job off.
that's debatable. And the only reason I say that is they are getting a new GM.
Yeah.
So if the GM has a coach in mind, they could still make a move. So
Yeah.
McDaniel, although the ownership was like, yeah, we're bringing him back and whatever. There's plenty of times we've seen ownership say those types of things and then fire a guy. So it's really going to depend on that GM hire on if McDaniel is the guy they want to move forward with.
Dave Canales is another guy that I think people thought could be fired after this year, but now he's got Carolina in position to win the division, so Dave Canales ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, he's definitely not going anywhere. But you still have, you still probably have at least 5 guys
Yeah.
going to get fired.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look at Liam Cohn, for example. Liam Cohn, a lot of people thought would be a one-and-done coach just because of his stupid press conference he did when he was hired. And now Liam Cohn looks to be a freaking genius hired by the Jaguars.
I mean, they didn't start out particularly well either.
They didn't, but like a lot of people thought he could be like a one-and-done coach just because, he didn't seem like the brightest guy in the room when he had his press conference. But that looks like a genius hired by the Jaguars right now.
Hey, you know who also had that similar press conference?
Sirianni and
Nick Sirianni.
Mhm.
You can't judge a coach by his press conferences.
no, you can't.
No, for sure.
But-
But I mean, if you were looking at it early in the year, you're like, man, this team doesn't look like it's very well coached. But I mean, it was early on, obviously. And
But like with Sirianni though, wasn't Sirianni just like 9-7 or whatever his first year? Like his first year, he wasn't the Sirianni that he is now. Versus like Liam Cohen's come out swinging with the Jacksonville team that's been terrible the last 2 years.
But he also got stuck with a Carson Wentz who
Yep.
wound up having to get benched, and then we wound up losing to Tom Brady,
Mm-hmm.
who wound up, I think, winning the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, that
He
was
might have
yeah,
won the
that was the Super Bowl
So-
with the Bucs, yeah.
Or that might have been his last year, one or the other, where they lost in the conference championship or whatever it is. I don't know. Either way, it was like he's only been in the year in the league for 5 seasons. No, he did lose the Super Bowl. He did win the Super Bowl that year. So 5 seasons, all 5 seasons, he's made the playoffs.
Yep.
And he was a disciple of Frank Reich.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's it just interests me how, like, even our offensive coordinator is going to get some interest in coach, for coaching material. And I think he'll be a better head coach than he will be that he is an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I think that they have had the playbook on lockdown.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm very, it's like I have been very optimistic about our offense in terms of that when they have let it go, the offense has gone amazing.
Yeah.
And it seems like they score a bunch of points, like they had the offense moving and humming, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, let's go to playbook B after they were up 13-0 against the Bills.
It's like they're treating some of the games like a preseason where they don't want to show teams everything they can do until the playoffs. It's like, well, we can do this, but we're just not going to show you everything quite yet.
And the other thing that they decide to do and they don't decide to do is when Jalen Hurts, it gets let go. When they decide to have Jalen Hurts or to do some, play action or scramble around or do some more running plays, that's when the offense really kicks in. I feel that they have been deliberate in not allowing Saquon to go crazy running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that this whole offense has been handcuffed by a playbook that they have chosen to do, like that this was part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're going to see in week 1 of the playoffs an Eagles team that's ready to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're probably playing the Rams, so that'll be an interesting prove.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
Right there. Because that's who you're playing. I have a feeling
No,
that's who you're playing.
No,
right?
the Rams are locked into the 6th seed after losing to Atlanta on Sunday.
Yeah, so it's really a matter of whether Chicago wins or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess that's true because you only can get the third if Chicago loses second if Chicago loses and you win. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now we're going to have Tanner McKee start the game that Jalen Hurts isn't going to play, which I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I really think that they should have A.J. Brown also not play. Devontae Smith can play or not. It doesn't matter. I think that he is such a better wide receiver. I think that he's the best wide receiver on this team, actually, Devontae Smith, in comparison to A.J. Brown. I know A.J. Brown gets all of the accolades, but Devontae Smith is the better wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to watch Tanner McKee. This is his audition to be traded for a 2nd or 1st round pick. And you're going to see him throw 4 touchdown passes.
all right. We're gonna put that on the board.
I'm dead serious on this. I think Tanner McKee is probably the best backup quarterback, not only in the league, like he could probably start for over like 15 to 20 of the quarterbacks that are out there now. Now I could be wrong. I mean, obviously I get paid so much money to be a football analyst. So
Well, I think that's a similar situation with the Packers on Malik Willis. Someone's going to pay Malik Willis next year to be a starter, at least to come in.
but isn't Malik Willis like 5'6"?
No, he's like 6'4". Malik Willis is a big guy. He's
He
fast
was the
and he
one
can
that
throw.
was on the Panthers for a minute.
No, he was on the Titans.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", I think, maybe 6'5", and like 230. But he's fast. He's got a big arm, and like he started 2 games with the Titans, and the Titans gave up on him because their franchise was in disarray when they drafted him. And then he goes to Green Bay, and he actually looks like a legitimately decent quarterback.
So let's be granted
he's
a lot of
6 foot. He's 6 foot 225.
yeah, but also let's be real. Like too, if for some reason anybody who goes to Green Bay, even their backups are always end up being good.
True.
Not Matt Flynn. Not Matt Flynn. Not Matt Flynn.
Green Bay never stresses on is their quarterback position. There, it's like next man up, and they always perform.
Not Matt
Flynn was
Flynn.
fine in that system.
Yep.
He was fine at that system.
He threw 4 touchdowns in one or 5. Was it 4 or 5? That's where we were in his one game and that he won, and then we all loved him and we paid him $10 million.
6 touchdowns against the 0-16 Lions in Week 17.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then we paid him $10 million to come and sit the bench because Russell Wilson took his job.
Yep. Yeah, his total contract was like $17 million, and he didn't take a snap.
No.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I just think the way that Willis has played, and obviously I have to watch every single Packer game being here in Wisconsin, but there are times where that Packers offense looks better with Malik Willis under center than they do with Jordan Love. And that's kind of why I think a lot of teams are going to look at Willis as like kind of like a similar situation to Sam Darnold last year, where you just bring him in on like a 1-year, $7-8 million prove-it deal to see what you have. And if he performs well, then you can extend him because he's only 25. If he doesn't perform well, it didn't really cost you anything. Because the Packers offense moves that ball a lot more consistently and a lot better when Malik Willis is under center.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't try and keep him there, especially because Love has a tendency to get banged up.
That's the thing. They're going to try to keep him there, but if someone calls him and is like, here, do you want $8 million to do nothing, or do you want $7 million to start?
Oh, he'd make more than that. If somebody's trying to give him a starting role, he'd make more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he could probably get 12.
If
12
the money's close,
as show me.
Yeah.
If
That's
the money's
what I was
close,
saying,
he's
like
going to be a
12 to
starter.
15.
If the money's close, he'll take the chance to be a starter because he's still only 25. He knows.
Yeah, it would
he's
be like
got-
a Daniel Jones type contract, I
Yeah.
would think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
which
And
the
then
teams that'll do
obviously speaking of Green Bay, there's that development there. They pick up Diggs off of
Yeah, we
waivers.
figured that was
So
happening.
Trayvon going to
Who
be
called
there.
that? Who called that?
It's
It's too bad Mike is not playing. He's technically not reunited.
yeah. I mean,
they're reunited on the bench this week because he's not playing.
So is he just for playoff depth? Or you don't think he's actually going to start?
He's not starting. He's not starting this week.
Yeah.
he'll probably get some reps in that game though.
Yeah.
He's
I
not
think
going
it's
to.
more-
He won't be the starter, but I bet he gets
No.
on the field.
Yeah, I think it's more so the Packers brought him in. That way they get him for the entire winter. They get him for training camp, and then they can decide whether they want to keep him at that. And they're basically paying him. I think they said $500,000 right now because the Cowboys still have to fork over the rest of it. So for $500, you're getting a 3-time Pro Bowler who led the league in interceptions not that long ago. If it works out, you just got a steal of a cornerback, and if it doesn't work out, it's costing you nothing.
Yeah, but you got to deal with a head case. It's not like play that's his problem as much.
Yeah,
as it
and
is-
we're also talking about, he had these
attitude.
turnovers a few years ago, and then just glossing over the fact that he's a liability in coverage half the time.
And he's been hurt
What
this
he
year too.
hasn't done
significantly.
is create turnovers as of late.
Yeah, he's been hurt
So-
significantly this year too, which is I think another reason why the Packers are like, it's basically a flyer deal. We sign you now, if you play at all, you do, but then you have all winter into training camp next year to show us that you can still play a little football.
Well, I mean, they need him. Like of the playoff teams, like they're the team that need a guy. So
It was between the Packers and the Bears because the Bears are now down Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon's going to be out.
I didn't
think
think the Bears were a good fit for him. I didn't think he would mesh particularly
Al
well.
Harris. Al Harris is the Bears' secondary coach who coached him
I know.
in Dallas when he led the league in interceptions. That's the main reason why they linked him to the Bears because they figured Al Harris could get him to get back to that level at some point because
Yeah,
of the coaching.
I think there's a head coach there that wouldn't want to put up with his BS.
Oh, Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what really comes
Well,
down to.
Dennis Allen too. I don't think Dennis Allen would put up with this BS on the defense either.
No, and that's my point. Is there are some main coaches. It's great that there's a position coach that he likes there. There's some other guys that pull the strings though that aren't going to be interested in it. Like you can see that Ben Johnson is all about discipline and being where you're supposed to be. What is the one thing that he doesn't do? Like he's not a great disciplined player. He's never where he's supposed to be.
Well, I was actually watching the game on Sunday when they lost to the Niners. Ben Johnson is Kirk Cignetti of the NFL because whenever Indiana's playing well, Kirk Cignetti never smiles. He just kind of stares and like he's ready to yell at somebody. When the Bears are doing well, Ben Johnson just stares. Like he never shows any visible like happy emotions. He just stares and it looks like he's ready to like pop off at somebody at any time.
Yeah, I mean that was the Nick Saban thing, right?
Mhm.
Like when they were blowing someone out, he was looking for something to tear into his team for.
Right.
Because he didn't want them to get relaxed. He didn't want them to take the foot off the gas. It's like, hey, you guys need to stay locked in like it's 0-0 right now.
I didn't realize Al Harris was the DB's coach of the Bears.
Yeah, that was one of the guys that Dennis Allen wanted to go get after Dennis Allen was hired. That was like the first.
2/3
of
the earth is covered by the water. The other third is covered by Al Harris.
Exactly.
The
I think that was
ex-Eagle.
actually. I think that was Dennis Allen's first hire after he got the job. I think Al Harris was the first guy that he brought with him after he got the job. Like that was the guy that Dennis Allen wanted the most out of all the staff that he brought
And
over.
Al Harris is he's another guy who's like 5'6".
Yeah.
He's very
He
short.
was just a pest though.
He was amazing. He was able to do man-to-man coverage better than anybody else that I've ever watched. He was an Eagle, and I remember him because he was the Eagles, and then he wound up going to the Packers when the Eagles they were investing more in the offense
Right.
rather than the defense. And I think he won a ring with them. Did he not? He was part of that
Yes.
Super Bowl team.
Yep.
Yeah.
2010. Yep. Ask Matt Hasselbeck what it's like to throw to Al Harris in the playoffs. That's the one play that Al Harris is going to be known for in Green Bay for most of his career. When Matt Hasselbeck says, "We want the ball so we can score," and then one pass later, it's a pick six to Al Harris.
Hey,
He's like,
he threw a touchdown pass.
He did.
We're gonna
He
score.
did.
Why you gotta bring that up, man?
But no, like because Al Harris was a great player in Green Bay. Like he
Right.
had I think 20 interceptions during his time with Green Bay and several playoff interceptions. But like the one play that Al Harris is always going to be known for is that
Yeah.
Matt Hasselbeck play, just because of what Matt Hasselbeck said, and then two plays later.
I actually
We
love
want the ball.
Hasselbeck.
We're going to score.
Yep.
I actually loved Hasselbeck saying that in real time, and then for him to turn around 2 plays later and throw a pick six, you're like, ah.
And then I think one of the, I don't know if he was on the team yet or not, but I think one of the last plays that Al Harris had in Green Bay was when Seattle came back against Green Bay in that NFC Championship game, because I believe Javon Curse on that bomb that Russell Wilson threw to Curse to end the game. I think he beat Al Harris.
That was
Yeah.
Lockett. I think that was Lockett.
Yeah,
You're
that
talking about
Lockett. Yeah,
the-
whoever that was. I think that was Al Harris's last
talking about
game
the
in
support,
Green Bay.
and then where everybody's like, "Oh, it's Passino too," because Lockett kind of pushed
Yep.
off.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
that
that was
catch.
Al Harris who he beat in that game, because I think that was Al Harris's last game in Green Bay.
Yeah, no, I think you're actually right. It was Curse because Lockett wasn't
Yeah.
part of our Super Bowl teams.
Yeah, because it was Curse and Baldwin would have
Lockett
been your
Elm.
receivers.
Sorry, yeah, I was thinking of
And that was when they didn't call offensive pass interference.
No.
So, because that's hey, if they called offensive pass interference, Michael Irvin would not have been anywhere near as good. Of
Did you
it,
see that?
He was a master of shoving.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michael Irvin, did you see the memes with him after Miami beat Ohio State?
He looked so coked up.
That's the thing they said. If you're in Miami right now, today is a great day to be a coke dealer, as in you can pay off your college or your kid's college tuition, coke dealer. And then they show Michael Irvin just losing his shit.
Oh my God, he
Yeah.
looked so bad, so bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, he
I
looked
mean-
like he was strung out for sure.
Somebody should tell him, like, yo, dude, you gotta just chill for a minute. Go get some Botox. Go figure it the frig out. Like, but you look like painted ass.
And then you got Ray Lewis on the sideline with him, and Ray Lewis looks like he's about to go preach at a church, and he's like all like in a nice suit and everything, just all relaxed. And here you got
Ray Lewis
coked
might
out
do
Michael.
that
No, but like Ray Lewis is on the sideline, like super relaxed, like he's giving high fives and all that, and then you got Michael Irvin that just looked like he snorted 4 lines at halftime and then came out ready to run through a wall.
Hey, you know what? He was bringing that energy though.
Ray Lewis gets paid $250,000 to go speak anywhere he goes to talk.
That's a good living.
For an hour.
That's a good living.
1 hour talk.
You can do that,
$250,000.
Pigs, you can do that.
Listen,
1
I'm
hour a
working on
week.
it. I am working on that.
1 hour a
I'm
week
not
for
quite there yet.
$250,000. Jeez, $1 million a month.
So, listen, it's more than that because he's
No, but I'm saying if
going-
you only did that once a week, though, if you did that once a week for 1 hour a week, you're making $1 million a month. I'm pretty sure I could pay the bills and make things work on $1 million a month working 4 hours.
Yeah, I could make the numbers bump together. You'd probably have 10 hours into it. You could do a little research of who you're talking to.
It might be a little tight at first, but I'm pretty sure I can make that work.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm trying to get paid $10,000 to go talk somewhere.
Well, speaking of bonuses, I was gonna ask Bo anyway. I wanted to see if you guys had an opinion because I saw today Saturday's game for the Hawks, 2 big escalators, 2 big bonuses could get paid out. Darnold needs to throw 150 yards
He'll hit that.
for $500,000.
The San Francisco secondary is terrible. He'll hit that.
He gets
Well, they
500.
don't have a pass rush, so
Yeah, he'll hit that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
he'll
he'll
hit
hit his 400,000 mark.
He might have that at halftime.
He'll have that. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. That's
I
interesting.
disagree with that. I disagree with they'll have it at halftime because they don't play football in the first half for whatever reason.
That's
But
true, yeah.
but he'll have 150 yards for the game.
All right, he needs that for $500,000, and then the big one, DeMarcus Lawrence. So 2 sacks, and he gets $500,000.
I don't think he hits that.
Depends if Trent Williams plays. Trent
And
Williams.
honestly, not even necessarily that. Brock Purdy has been really good at moving in the pocket the last few weeks. Like he's had like that third eye in the back of his head because he's really found a way to feel that pressure coming from the backside. And so, yeah, no, I don't think he gets 2 sacks in this game.
He's turned into the white Caleb Williams the last couple of weeks in the pocket.
Yeah, no, he's done incredibly well. So, and it's surprising that he's needed to because the offensive line for them has actually been pretty solid. But for whatever reason, over the last couple of weeks, he's really been able to feel that pressure and move. So it's tough to get him on the ground.
Yeah.
So, how about does Myles Garrett do it?
Yes.
Does he do it?
He'll do it. I think Myles Garrett's going to come out and just play 150% the whole game until
Well,
he
he's playing the
gets
Bengals too, right?
That's the
against the
thing.
Bengals. Yeah,
So-
There's no offensive
Oh,
line.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll.
He's going against Joe Flacco against no offensive line. There's no doubt in my mind he gets the 1 sack he needs.
Could
Is
happen on
it
the
one?
first- could
I
happen-
thought he
yeah,
still needs
one.
1.5.
No, he's got 1. He's 1 away. He's at
He just
20.
needs 1.
So so Flacco's starting.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
does Cleveland win that game then?
Probably
No, I
not,
think-
honestly.
So even
Actually,
That-
it'll be a tough one. Yeah, because Flacco will probably beat him. But I wouldn't be surprised then if he gets 3 or 4 sacks. He
Yeah,
may
he's a
actually
half a
put
sack-
that
he's a
number
half a
way
sack
out of.
away from, he's a half sack from tying it, 1 sack from taking, owning it on his
And
own.
he had 5 sacks against Cleveland last time, right?
Yeah.
4.5, 5,
No.
yeah, something like that.
do you give him the asterisk because if he hits it because he did it in an extended season, like
No.
not as
I
many
mean,
games,
it'll
so
be a
you
point
take
of
that away from him?
conversation. That
Michael
conversation
Strahan
will
has the
happen
asterisk.
in April when nothing's going on. That's when we'll talk about it being a real thing or not.
Yeah, look at Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan technically has an asterisk next to it because Brett Favre just laid down for him.
He did just take a dive.
And Michael Strahan just touched him, so a lot of people don't credit
The
Michael
worst part about
Strahan
it
with
is that
getting
he
it.
went up to him beforehand. Before the play started, you saw Brett Favre go
He's
up
like,
to
I'm
him
going to go
saying,
down.
"Listen,
I'm going to go down.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm giving this to you."
So a lot of people don't even give Michael Strahan the full credit.
And then Mark
for-
Gastineau comes out and be like, "Yeah, man, why did you accept that? Why did you do it?" Like, shut up.
I'm sorry. Like, if I was in Brett Favre's situation too, and like I knew a guy that's been in the league for as long as Strahan was at that time, and he was that close to getting a record, I'd probably take the dive for him too, and I'd be like, I'm gonna roll to your side,
I
and
wouldn't.
I'm gonna lay down and just touch.
You
me.
want a record, earn it. Come get me.
Well, the problem was nobody liked Mark Gastineau either. He was
Yeah.
such an asshole.
Yeah.
You know. And then he
People
proved
actually
it by going up to that's the thing. Strahan is on Good Morning America now.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
people
so-
love Strahan.
And I love
Like
every once in a while I get to bust his balls and he busts them right back on me. So like when I get to have that type of interaction with a player who knows me, you know, like because he hates the Eagles, absolutely hates them. You know,
Well, he's a
I
giant.
wish.
I expect that.
Yeah, well, no, same thing with Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor, they hated the Eagles more than they hated the Cowboys.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like it was Cowboys, Redskins at the time, and Eagles, Giants. That's why the Eagles, Giants is the third biggest rivalry in all of sports. It's like Eagles, Cowboys, Bears, Packers, Eagles, Giants. So
Joe, I'll be doing the Pick'em show the hour before kickoff on Saturday. So before the first game. So
Yeah.
The game that matters only to Tampa.
Well, I was looking at another bonus guy, Rico Dowdle. He's 7 scrimmage yards away, line of scrimmage yards in total from $1 million bonus.
Oh, he'll get that first play.
yeah, I mean,
That's-
even if he wasn't going to be in the game plan, they're going to give him that.
Yeah, he'll be their first play. Even if
Yeah,
he would have
no,
been if he would be on a team that the division was clinched already and they weren't going to start any starters, like they would put him in that first play or even the first two plays to get him that bonus and then take him out.
Unless they're the Cowboys. And then they're going to go out of their way to keep you from getting your
Yeah,
bonus.
exactly.
Well, it's $1 million, right? You might, I could see Jerry wanting to save. That's a little money to save. So
I mean,
that's not nothing to sneeze at.
I think it was only $500,000, but still. Only.
There was one guy who's about, if he gets a certain, what was it, like 7 or 8 catches and 130 yards, he gets like 1.5 million. Like that was the biggest one. And I don't know why, it was like 7 catches and 130 yards. And it's possible that he's going to get it too, but
that was
I thought that was Diggs.
Might be.
I thought that was Diggs that needs that.
It might be.
Oh, well then he ain't getting nothing because he's not going to play.
No.
He is going to play.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was, and then he'll go to jail.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that they're looking at it as, these are just allegations at this point. This is all they know. So
I think Bo had the right idea. Yeah, this will be a sweep under the rug, probably pay a settlement later on after,
Right.
Yeah.
all is said and done. And if there is any punishment, you wouldn't see punishment to 2026, which most likely there won't be any punishment.
I don't know about that. Diggs is like very well known to like be setting up franchises and has like women all over the friggin' country that he's knocked up and beat up.
So he'll get a suspension of sorts next year.
Yeah.
Right. But this thing is, I fully expect this to be a cash settlement deal. And so there will be some sort of suspension, but it'll come next season.
Great. That kind of reminds me of Justin Jefferson's rookie year with Mike Zimmer, where he needed 5 catches and 71 yards to get like a $2 million roster bonus, and Mike Zimmer stopped him at 4 catches and didn't throw him the ball the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's such a
definitely happens. All right. That does get us to the top of the hour. If you've been watching along with us, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Otherwise, welcome to the first show of the year.
Yeah. Happy New Year's.
Take it easy, everyone.
Peace.